Hello, this is Henry David Thorough with another thorough gun review on sustenance and covering the only YouTube channel you need to not only survive the current apocalypse, but actually enjoy it. And today we're going to do a thorough gun review on the Marlin Model 6022. That's the Model 60 in 22 caliber. This is claimed to be, and easily believable, the most popular 22 rifle in the history of the universe. I wouldn't doubt it's the most popular gun in the history of the universe. Not that it's the most powerful or the cheapest, most accurate, longest lasting, but it has a whole lot of those qualities all rolled up into the one, and for a very little money you get basically what is almost as good of a 22 as you can get. Now, the main brag that Marlin makes on this gun is what they call micro rifling or micro groove rifling, and it's always bothered me. Before I bought my first one, it bothered me to even think about having something that's called micro, because in my head I'm thinking maybe it's going to wear out quick, and I want a gun that I can put 1,000,000 rounds through without any problems. I have heard of people that have been shooting the same gun for 40-50 years saying that they're getting less and less accurate, but this gun here is a 1976 model. This other one right here is a 2009 model. I can see no difference in accuracy. I don't have a bench and I don't have no professional targets, but I set up a little tomato paste can down about 30 feet from here, which is about as far as I get away from a squirrel if I'm hunting squirrels. And I just laid it on its end. You know, you got about a half dollar size bottom on that can, and with this old gun, I hit it both times. It wasn't dead center. I'm not that good of a shot. But when I used my newer gun, it was basically the same results. And just so you can get a close-up of what the abuse of this gun is like, see the scratches and such on it. It makes me think that somebody's been using it. Either that or they've been moving it around a lot without ever shooting the thing. I do like this one because it's got a little squirrel engraved on it, and I guess there's some collector value to that, to somebody, not to the open market of collectors. And there's a little oak leaf emblem. It's a pretty gun if it wasn't wore out, you know, or not wore out but tore up. But anyways, I highly recommend, if you get one of these, just go to Walmart and buy one, brand new. No reason to go to a pawn shop to save money, because this gun here, let's see, I think he paid 120 bucks for it, and I think I paid 155 for mine. It saved him $35. This is not my gun. It belongs to a friend who just leaves it here. Now, speaking about what year it is, if you do decide to get one at a pawn shop, the way you figure out the year on these older guns is the number, the serial number, will be the inverse of 00. So if you had a gun that was made in 1950, it would start with 50. And these were actually, you can't, I think they started making these in 59. Not really sure, but I think that's when they started making them. They called it a 59. And then in 1960, they started calling it the Marlin 60, Model 60, and to this day they still call them Marlin Model 60, but basically it's the same gun since 1959. But the numbers on this one are 24, 417, 817. So that 24, you subtract that from 00 and you come with 76. That's the year. Now once you get to year 00, you get to this, which is 91474442, and the first number is 9. This gun was made in 2009. Now pay no attention to this strap that's on here. I'm just too doggone cheap to get them little things that you screw into your wood, and I didn't want to really put a hole in my wood and take a chance of cracking it. Now my friend who saved $35 with this gun actually did get those little eyes for the strap, and they're put in crooked, and in fact this one here has split the stock. I don't know if you can see, it's got a little split right there, and it's crooked as well, and so that's really not a benefit to me. I don't like stuff that's put together wrong and tore up. Now here, if you do get an older gun, know this: The factory stocks on these things kind of halfway cover your safety. It's a right-hand safety, so when you're holding it right hand and you press that button in, it's off safety. And then you just press from the other side. But it's kind of hard to access that. On this one, it's a lot easier. You see the cutaway? Easy to get to. Easy to turn on, easy to turn off. Now on the newer guns, they all work by, you know, when you pull back on the bolt and push it in, it locks it. And then to release it, you pull it out. However, the newer guns, when your tube is empty, you're out of bullets, this will lock it halfway back, indicating to you that you're out of bullets. To shut it, you release it, you simply press this release right here, and that shuts it down. Now, Marlin Model 60s will not use 22 shorts or 22 magnums. However, and the reason for that is they just aren't made for it. If you have any doubts, I don't know if you can see it, that there, right there, is the hole where you feed the bullets through. If your bullet is smaller than that, don't use it. If it's longer than that, you don't use it. That there's your size indicator, really. It's basically just where you feed it, but in any case, I have shot subsonics through, cycled well, it didn't lock up or jam. However, I will say this, if you shoot one bullet with this gun, just one, and then set it up against the wall for 30 days, and suddenly you got to use it, when you press the trigger, ain't nothing going to happen. Well, you may shoot the one that's in the chamber, but it won't feed again. You got to clean any gun you own, and I'm learning that the hard way, but these things here work wonderfully as long as you keep them clean and oiled. That's the important thing. And what I was saying about how the bolt locks back, I'll show you that on the older guns. If you notice, that little release that was on my gun right here is not there, because it's an older gun. I do not know what year they changed over, but I highly recommend that if you get a gun, just go to Walmart and get it, or anywhere. You know, basically it's $155 anywhere you go. Now, if you notice, these guns are different sizes. Can you see that? Oops. Mine is shorter. Doesn't mean a thing. Marlin has always made different sizes of the gun. It's still a Model 60 if it's however 30 inches long or 40 inches long, and I don't even know what sizes they do make. But that has nothing to do with the size or the year of the gun, although your options on size did change like 1989 or something like that. As far as optional equipment, there is not anything really made for these guns. You can get these little things with universal screw-in strap holders. They do have a rail where you can put yourself a scope, or if you're so inclined, a tactical light, although that would really mess you up because then you wouldn't have any way to sight the thing and without a scope, but you know, whatever, it's got that little rail there, and whatever fits on that rail you can buy. It will work with this gun. As far as stocks go, I have only seen one optional stock. And if you go to Google, type in Marlin Model 60, when that comes up, click on images, and always somewhere in there is an image of one of these with some kind of tactical stock on it. One of them like skeleton ABS plastic stocks, or I don't know what they make them out of. And it's got a little bipod on it. That's about the only option I've seen for these guns that is specifically for these guns. You aren't going to be able to buy a whole range of triggers and, you know, I don't know, silencers or whatever kind of thing you might put on one. So that is one of the drawbacks, but it's really cheap, and I do not know of any gun within $300 that will fire even one bit more accurately than this. Well, that's my thorough gun review, best I can do. I'll give you a few things to think about. I hope that's enough. Goodbye from Sustenance and Coverage.